Alrighty, I have about 2 minutes and 3 seconds left to record on this memory card, so I'm going to do my best to keep this short. But today is December 2nd, and it is 9:26 in the morning. I've been awake since 7 because I had a blood lab to get to this morning, but that is done. I'm home. Willie has been fed. The kittens have been fed. I'm going to go check on Celine and give her food, make sure she has water, and turn on her heater. And then I'm going to take a nap. I slept like garbage, so the nap is required. Willie gets his meds at 10, so I'm going to sleep for about half an hour, give him his meds, and then probably go back to sleep because I slept for maybe 3 hours, not counting the on and off of that sleep. So that is the game plan, and then after I wake up, whenever that may be on a like general I'm staying awake scale, I'm going to get into King of Darkness, and when that happens I will actually talk more about the book and how things are going, because at that point I will also switch memory cards. So I will see you guys at some point after I wake up, whenever that may be. Alright, it's currently December 3rd, but just because I didn't pop in earlier and give you a update of any kind, which is because I slept in until like 4 or 5, so by the time I accomplished anything in King of Darkness, my mom was home, and I try not to record when other people are here, just as a personal thing. It's nothing like she hasn't asked me not to record, it's just that I feel uncomfortable with it. But on the 2nd, I wrote 800 words in King of Darkness, and that brought my total to 4,402 words on the book so far. Not this month, obviously. The 800 words are the only words I've written in it this month so far, but things are going well there. I'm much happier with the way things are going in the book. And later on today, after I've slept, I'll give you a update on like the things that I've been adding since the original that I like, and I'll get into more detail on what the original is, because I haven't talked about it a ton in a work in progress video, obviously. I'll go ahead and talk about King of Darkness more after I sleep, but right now I'm just going to change shirts here and then go to bed. But I'm going to keep working on King of Darkness after I wake up, whenever that may be. So at that point I will give you guys a quick chat on what the book is, what the original is, what the rewrite is, and so on and so forth. But otherwise, I'm gonna go to bed. So I'll see you guys hopefully in a few hours. So I was hoping to update you guys on King of Darkness in better lighting back in my mom's room, but I slept like garbage for the second night in a row, and then I slept past noon once I moved back to my mom's room after she went to work, and then she came home early, so by the time I had accomplished anything, she was home, and again, she wouldn't care if I filmed. I'm just not in a place where I feel like recording when other people are awake and up and about. I used to be okay with it, but I'm still getting back into the flow of things, so hopefully eventually I'll get there. But with King of Darkness, on the 3rd here, I wrote 966 words in it, and things have gone well, which is great. I wasn't expecting it to, based on how writing has gone the last 2 months, but so far these 3 days have been great. I've only worked on crime and supernatural so far, and today I also did some editing in a zombie book for a client, but things have gone well. I've written 6,352 words so far in the first 3 days of this month, and that puts me on track for 60,000 words by the end of the month, and I haven't been able to say that in quite some time, so that feels good to say, despite how shittily the month started out on literally day 1, I think, with the anxiety attack. But things have gone well in King of Darkness, and I'm very happy about that. So since I don't think I've filled you in any work in progress video, and obviously definitely not in this one, I'm going to go through what is going on in King of Darkness and what it is and what the original was and what the rewrite is and all of that. So King of Darkness, first of all, is in the Hellish series, which is where Man of Darkness is from, which is one of my published novellas. And Man of Darkness features Miles the Reaper, and King of Darkness features Lucifer, who we see in Man of Darkness. But King of Darkness is from Lucifer's point of view, and the main plot is that up in heaven, first attempt, which was God's first attempt at an archangel, has escaped heaven's jail, and Michael has come down to hell, well, earth. He's not allowed to enter hell on God's orders, but he has come down to earth to speak to Lucifer because God has more or less ordered Lucifer to trap first attempt back in her cage. First attempt was a he in draft 1, but personally I just think it's cooler if if first attempt is a she. There's really no other reason for it. I feel like it's slightly less confusing also because there are so many male characters. It's just less confusing to have one of the main players be a female as well. I tend to write male characters better. I'm getting better at writing female characters, but I do have an easier time writing male characters. I don't know what that is. I think it is just because when I was in high school I had a habit of making all female characters one-dimensional bitches. And I have a very hard time accepting that I can write them the same way that I write male characters, and I have a hard time pushing past that, so I just don't really make them that often anymore. But that's something I'm trying to work on. So, initially, if you're new here, I'm a pantser, and that's important in the King of Darkness thing here. The original of this book had the same plot, the same idea, the same goal, and normally when I write my books, I don't have like an ending. I don't know how it's going to end in the broad, or in the minimal sense, in the minor sense. Like with my crime novels, I know that, for instance, Bo is going to catch the killer at the end, or a vigilante is going to off a killer at the end. I know that's going to be the ending of every single one, generally. There are exceptions, but that's the general consensus. But with books like Man of Darkness and King of Darkness, there isn't a guaranteed ending. They could die at the end, they could live at the end, they could get a happily ever after at the end. It's not a romance, it's not a crime novel, it's not one of my mafia novels, it's not a mystery. There's no formulaic, it has to end this way in order to fall within the supernatural genre. So because of that, I stupidly plotted a few points in the original to move things along. And plotting points is bad for me. It, for me personally, makes my characters one-dimensional. It makes the story far less comprehensive for some reason, and generally makes me not enjoy it anymore. And it completely messes everything up. So when I finally discovered that that's what I had done wrong, I scrapped it and started over. So right now I'm using the original document to retype the new one, and I am typing up to the point where I changed plot points, which was... shoot. I don't remember how many words into the book it was. I don't have that memorized offhand, but I am using the original document to write back up to that point, and so far it's going well. This month anyway. It's been slow before that. But I'm happy with the progress that I made today here on the 3rd, and I don't know if progress will continue to go well. I don't know if progress will slow down once I'm no longer using the original document. I don't know if progress will speed up once I'm no longer using the original document. I don't even know if I'll be able to finish the book once I'm no longer using the original document. Despite the fact that I love Miles and Lucifer and the Hellish series, it's always very hard for me to write it, which I think is a fear about offending people with it, just because, much like the TV show Supernatural, it's obviously playing with God and the archangels and the angels and all of that, and that offends some people, some religious, some not, and that's always a lurking fear in the back of my mind, but because there's a part of you that hopes that people who know that they're offended by changes to religion or religious figures of any kind, that they would just not read it. But you also know that they're going to read it specifically to review it, because that's how our world works.
when it comes to things like trigger warnings, people use those to specifically not read things that will trigger a harmful traumatic event. And when it comes to other things like, I don't like that thing, people will specifically seek it out to complain about it. And that's a fear that I have with the Hellish series. I'm sorry for the focus. It's focusing on the wall. And it slows down progress, even when I'm on a roll. So I'm hoping that this time it goes well. I'm hoping that this time I don't fall into the horrible device of plotting it at all. And I'm hoping that this time it's allowed to just run its course, and that everything ends up going well, and that I end up loving it, like I did love Man of Darkness. And that's all I have for right now. The next supernatural book that I will work on, I think, is a new book. I don't think I have any other supernatural books before that. I won't be starting the new book until I get past Serial Killers Anonymous again, which is at the end of my 12 project list. So I will see you guys when I make it past Serial Killers Anonymous and I start the new book, which should be a Christmas-themed paranormal detective hunter something novel. So I'll see you guys then. Probably in this video. I'm going to see how long this one will be as is, but I think it's short enough to include another clip, so I won't do an outro here or anything, but I will see you guys when I start the new supernatural novel and throw that into the mix of work in progresses. But for now, I'm going to get back into some crime stuff, and I will see you guys soon. So I had a wild hair tonight and needed to randomly write out a scene from Murder at the Fang Marina that just would not leave me alone, so I lied, and here's a supernatural update for you. Murder at the Fang Marina is my vampire forensics book. Actually, on Discord I call it Vampy Forensics instead of its actual title. But there are two main characters. We switch back and forth between their point of views, but so far I'm not far enough into it to know if we switch consistently between them or just sometimes. But Alani is the vampire. She is a forensic analyst, and Alaya is the new detective to the department, and they're working together. And what I know for certain is that Alani hunts, more or less, vampires at the very least, potentially other monsters, I'm not 100% sure, monsters, supernatural beings, whatever, that have killed a human and just thrown them out there for her and the department to find. And that's what she uses her position in forensics to do. And Alaya finds out about that and wants to join. And that's what the series covers. But this scene wouldn't leave me alone. It's the scene where he discovers, or where she finds out that he knows she's a vampire. And so I finally sat down and wrote it out because it would not leave me alone this morning. And that was 850 words here on December 4th. It is currently 4:31 in the morning. I don't think I said that. But 850 words, which is great. Right now at this very moment, my dog is back here being weird. Right here at this current moment, I am at 7,784 words total for the month so far here on the 4th. And I feel pretty damn good about it. But at the moment, I do have a super great headache that's come on in the last half hour or so. I am not tired. I do not feel tired, which is surprising given how exhausted I was yesterday and how late I slept in yesterday and all of that. But, you know, my exhausted state and when I'm tired fluctuates pretty often, despite how often it screws me over now that I can't sleep in my room because of the kittens. But that is okay. I manage. But I'm going to close up shop here for the morning. I'm going to go probably change my shirt because this is a long sleeve shirt and I try not to sleep in them because otherwise I wake up sweating randomly despite the fact that I'm freezing cold all the time. So I'm probably going to do that. Hope that the kittens don't ninja attack my legs the whole time that I'm in there. And then go to sleep and hopefully sleep okay. But we'll see. But with all that being said, that is all that I have for this moment. Presumably, the next time I see you for something supernatural will be Murder at the Fang Marina. unless I write another random scene. But I'm determined that Murder at the Fang Marina is going to be in my supernatural videos instead of my crime videos, so you will see that here alongside King of Darkness, and then after that we will get into the new book that I'm hoping to start this month, as long as things continue to go well, but we'll see. But I'm going to go to bed, well, couch, and hopefully get rid of this headache, because again, I'm not tired, so if I can't fall asleep despite the headache, it's not going to help. So once I change into short-sleeved pajamas, I'm probably going to warm this up and lay it on my eyes or my forehead or something, and hopefully that helps, so that way I don't have to resort to Tylenol. But we will see, and I will see you guys the next time I work on something supernatural. But otherwise, I'm very happy I got this scene out of my head, and I'm very happy with the way that it went. It might even end up in the book the way that it is. But that is all that I have for now, and I will see you guys next time.
Alrighty, so it has been a little while since I've done any filming at all. I think it's been since the 22nd, I think. Which was for a Serial Killers Anonymous video and a crime work in progress video, I think. But things have been fun the last week or so. Yeah, that's about right. Roxy has been weirder than usual. A bit higher anxiety, a bit more neurotic, a bit more skittish. There were a couple days, apparently, I didn't know because I don't change her water, my mom does, where she wasn't drinking or eating anything. I got her to drink tub water, which she likes it when you fill up a cup in the bathtub and drip it for her to drink from. That makes her very excited. So she drank from that, and she would eat, like, treats that you would give her. So I made her oatmeal one of the days when I made Willie his oatmeal, and she ate that, and last night she ate and drank out of her bowl, which is good. But yesterday morning she also fell off of my mom's bed when my mom woke up, and that same morning, much earlier in the morning, she had, I still don't know what happened, but she either fell over and hit her head on the back of my chair, or she stretched and hit her head on the back of my chair. Either way, when I looked at her, her legs were stretched out and super stiff the way that Willie's were when he fainted. It could go either way for her, that she fell or that she was stretching, because she does stretch out and she has no spatial awareness at all. But she's been weird. And I just haven't really been in a headspace to film, but right now I would love an escape. So I'm going to film. But we were going to try and take her into the vet today, and that didn't happen. So hopefully tomorrow, the day after, we'll see. And I'll keep you guys posted. I'll do a video for her, most likely. Just, you know, just see what happens. But, we're going to go ahead and talk about the 23rd and the 24th, which were the two supernatural days that I have for you here right now. I started a new supernatural book, which is a supernatural hunter series. If you heard that noise, that was Willie coughing. He's down here. Sort of like the show Supernatural, that's what I mean by supernatural hunter. And the main character, Miguel Pareja, is a homicide detective and more or less finds out that monsters are real and begins hunting them down instead, which I know at the moment, he doesn't know it yet, but if you know, read into it a bit more, into it, meaning the stuff in the book, then you know right away that his son, a 3-year-old boy, is some form of psychic, which, poor kid. But the first chapter opens up with the boy waking up from a nightmare and running out to the living room to his dad, and he's had a nightmare about Father Whipper saying that he's going to kidnap, kill, and cut up his friends to sell with his pork, because that's one of the Father Whipper legends, myths, whatever you want to call it, traditions. Any of the above work. But then the same morning, Miguel gets a call because a 3-year-old has ended up dead and appears to have been cannibalized. And that's when it sort of clicks for him that maybe these nightmares that his son is constantly having aren't just nightmares, but at the moment he's holding out hope that it's a coincidence. And that's as far as I am right now. I'm only on chapter 2, I think. But that is called A Christmas Cannibal. Kind of a play on A Christmas Miracle. Initially on the cover I was going to write Miracle and then cross it out and write Cannibal. Might still do that on the final cover, but the work in progress cover doesn't have that on it. But on December 23rd, I wrote 516 words in that book, and on December 24th, I wrote 1,110 words in that book. And I'm enjoying it so far, which is a plus. I'm excited to write a Hispanic main character. I'm just excited to write a character the way that he came to me. I've always wanted to write more diverse characters. That's why I have researched an autistic character for Murder at the Fang Marina. That's why I have done characters like Jamal. That's why I have characters from all over the country. That's why I have characters from different countries. That's why I have immigrants. That's why I have characters who are the firstborn in America from an immigrant family, so on and so forth. It's very exciting to allow yourself to feel comfortable writing a more diverse cast and doing so in a way that is not terribly ungodly offensive to the people that are actually from that community of diversity. So I'm excited to write this one, both for the supernatural aspect and the character aspect. I'm also excited to write a male psychic again. I've written several in the past. I am currently writing several, but I do believe that this child is the first male psychic I have that isn't a killer. So I'm pretty excited for that too. But we'll see how things go and we'll go from there. But that's all that I have for the moment. I'm working on King of Darkness today, so I'll see you guys with an update on that at some point. But otherwise I have a romance video to film and a crime video to film, so hooray for that, and I'll see you guys after I've made some progress. Alrighty, sorry for the heater that you can hear. It is very cold back here. It is 2:37 p.m. on the 28th, and we're going to go ahead and talk about King of Darkness briefly. I have about 5 minutes left to record on this SD card, and I'm planning on this clip not being nearly that long, so today I wrote 1,080 words in it, which brought my total to 6,448 words. Progress is going well in that book. It's just taking a while. This is the 3rd time that I've worked on this book this month, which I'm very happy about. Sometimes I don't even make it through all of my books in 1 month. So being able to make it 3 times is very nice. When it comes to King of Darkness, I think I've talked about this before, but I'm not 100% sure if I've talked about it specifically in this video. But more or less, I've written part of the book originally, and then I decided that I messed up because I accidentally plotted out a few points, and I'm a pantser, and it completely derailed everything. So I started over, and I'm currently rewriting the part that I had already written. So I have a book that I'm going off of for this specific part. So it's a little easier when I work on it, but there is a lot of stuff that I'm moving around and fixing the dialogue on and all of that. So there's a lot of changes that are being made as I go, but I still have a baseline for where it started.
But progress is going well, so that's all I can ask for at this point. But that's all that I have for the moment, and that's all that I have for this work in progress video. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, a like is always appreciated, and if you'd like to stay updated on my writing, my editing, the gaming videos I upload roughly every Friday, the animal videos I upload roughly every Wednesday, or anything that I do on this channel in between, feel free to subscribe. I'll have links to my authors pages, as well as links to my social media in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.